Okay. Let's go. All right. Cleaning up my work area because I was just premiering a video. And we're looking very disheveled. Maybe we just had a moment in the closet with somebody. Who knows? This is Margaret. Welcome to my channel. We're on BookTube and we're celebrating the third Friday of March of the Moderns. So I wanted to do too many things today, and so I'm not compromising and I'm doing them all. We have blustery winds outside, so don't mind me if my eyes go to check that there's nothing flying off my patio. Let me just hop over to the other screens. We might have a few cameos today, so I want to check that they are all doing okay. Let me just hop over to the other screen. There we go. Yeah, and nope. All right. This is fun. Oh, okay. There's Sina. All right. So here, and then pop her up into the stream. And then we can step back to see the balance. There we go. Hey, pretty easy, right?
Hello. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, but I think there's a lag.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Joe's here.
Hang on.
Hello. Okay. You've got a lag because our video is going all the way to Germany and back, and you know, the sky. But so, as you may know,
We'll do
videos on Friday. She's setting it up, no problem. And this is so I've been replacing my live videos with the book discussions, but today, as I said, I wanted to try to do everything, and I'm doing everything. So I have guests coming on to get comfortable with StreamYard. I almost forgot the name of this program because I'm just like, ah. So we're all good.
Yeah, I think so. I shouldn't know you. Are you talking to?
Yeah, you're on screen, so you're live, and there is the lag, but we'll work with it.
Yeah, I've just plugged in the cable, hoping that this will give me better internet. But this in this house, the internet is quite feeble.
Oh, I feel your pain. I've been struggling for like, well, months, but then specifically with the company, I've had back and forth for about 3 weeks now, and it's like 4 weeks almost. So the battle, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I've given up on it, really. I just go. Sometimes it works well, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's called unreliability. That's what we're trying to avoid. So what about what you're reading? I don't really have an agenda for this other than to say people should check out March of the Moderns. I just put up my halfway done bingo. So I put that up on, I can't remember now, Instagram and Twitter and the blog. So it's in like 3 of the 16 different places where I exist. And I'm doing pretty well. There's nothing like crossing yet, but I think it'll happen. So that's exciting. But what are you reading these days, and how is it going?
That's pretty so impressive that you already got so many done. I mean, I only committed to the one, right, for the March of the Moderns. But you know, I was taking notes on your video just in case I needed something to comment on, and I have loads of them.
From the one
what I'm reading.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm a weirdo, and I didn't see there was a live chat. I could have just commented on there, but I didn't realize until the end.
You're on your phone, is that why?
No, I'm on my computer.
Oh, okay. Okay. I figured you like couldn't see it or it was hidden or something, but
Yeah, I didn't. I was just looking at the video, and then later I scrolled down, and then it was like, there's the live chat.
premieres are strange. They occupy a strange space. I remember starting out going, what is this option? And trying it out and being like, so why, what is this? Like, it didn't really make sense to me. But now I don't know. We'll see if that did any difference following a premiere with a live chat. It's a new experiment. Hello, Brian.
Ooh.
We could talk about the tag about tags because we've both done it, right?
Yes. I've also done the one by Jim.
Oh, and the STD too. Okay.
Although I can't remember. Yeah, now when you said Bernadette Banner, I was like super excited. Like, somebody else who follows her, as if she didn't have loads of followers.
Right.
But it just reminded me because you said, because you at one point said that we had, I don't know where it was, but you commented that we had a lot of overlap. I have no clue in what circumstance it was. And I was like, look, more overlap with, that doesn't have anything to do with books.
Yeah. I think the video, I said in the live chat, the video I first started following her for was a modern Edwardian skirt. So she was taking an old pattern and like adapting it to like her needs. And then she had this like, walking on the New York streets kind of video, and it looked really fun. And so I just really appreciated her humor. So she's kind of got this sub-tweety humor of like putting little tiny font things in that make fun of her, or, like the not hamster, guinea pig, like including little characters and little side eye for other actors in the community. And I just think she's so clever and, so hardworking and deserving. So it's a very good channel to watch and discover.
Yeah, she's brilliant. I don't know how to sew at all, and I've no interest in historical costume apart from looking at it in films that I like to watch. But somehow I love her videos. The first one that was recommended to me was one where she bought a knockoff dress of her own creation.
On
some dodgy website.
Medieval one.
And that was just in my recommendations for no reason whatsoever, because I've never watched anything like that before. But sometimes the YouTube algorithm is great.
Oh, yes. So Beth Ann is on. So hello, Beth Ann. And then, yes, I finally put a costume on. I realized today that I had the opportunity to, and I should probably try. So I'm looking a little Mary Poppins-ish. It's definitely like the Edwardian vibe, but nothing authentic. So sorry about that, guys. But this is what I could do. Have you guys ever seen those how men, women dressed in the whatever decade or century, where the video maker shows not only the clothes people wore, but how they actually put the clothes on? Yes. And you know who is so good at those videos? Isabel at Prior Attire. I'll put her information.
That's a new one. I think you should write this down.
Yes, I'm putting it. That's great. Dress up videos and makes.
I only remember once getting into this rabbit hole. I think it was because of Outlander.
Oh.
They have a great scene.
Speaking of rabbit hole, okay, hold on 1 second. Katja's in the green room. Let me pull her up here and then get rid of the comment.
Well, I'm hoping
more space. Yay!
I'm hoping this practice run works out okay. I've had to dig up my old laptop because it's got a properly placed camera. Otherwise, you'd have a really weirdly placed one. You'd be seeing my keyboard and everything on the gaming computer.
Okay. Interesting. Very cool. Oh, okay. So Brian's got a recommendation as well. Crow's Eye Productions for people demonstrating how they put clothes on in different eras. So I'll definitely have to look that up because I don't know why it's so enticing. just to watch how people layer. There's an account on TikTok that I follow for this as well, who does this especially with hoop skirts, and it's just, I don't know. They're just talented, but then they also make it look like fancy, so it's fun. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun, and you can waste a lot of time on there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we were talking about other YouTube recommendations because we've both done the tag about tags, and Katja, have you done that one and put it up yet?
I've not done this one. I've just jumped in.
Excellent. Yeah, we're not discussing anything in a planned way. I just decided to try doing a live after a premiere because otherwise premieres seem they fall very flat for me. So I thought, let's put this on and add it together and see if that, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm happy you're doing this because that then breaks the ice for me doing my first one on Sunday. It won't be such a build up to Sunday because I've just dived straight in.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. So it's pretty simple. You can see the comments, but you as panelists cannot write comments. So if you want to talk about them during our book discussions next Sunday or the Sunday after, you can, look over there and see what people are saying and then comment on it. And that will clue me in if I'm doing something else. Oh, I should pop their comment up, that kind of thing. So that's good practice. Brian saying, I don't know why I started watching them either. But I think the first one I watched had to do with 14th century clothing. 14th century. Whoa. I'm thinking long tunics.
Interesting.
I'm thinking wool. That's interesting. I also love watching shows where they try to live in a different manner. Like I just watched Arts and Crafts House, where they went to this house in Wales and they all had to do these arts and crafts projects and live together and try to be like an arts community from 1900 something. And the house was gorgeous. The people were sort of a little too big brothery, but it was fun.
Is that all the sort of rejection of industrialization, that arts and crafts movement of really enjoying making everything from scratch? Exactly.
William Morris. They had a few other, highlighted artists that I hadn't heard of besides William Morris. And they talked a little bit about the schools in the area, or in the UK at least, that had supported that and, fizzled out after a few years and whatnot because it was expensive and hard to compete with mass production. Here's Joe.
You see the next one about the corset. I think Banner would have some choice words.
Yes. So Joe Compton from Go Indie Now. This is the live show that I'll be on this evening with 4 other booktubers. So that's going to be really fun. And he says, I tell you what, the last thing I needed to watch is someone getting strangled by a corset. I get it. They suck. So actually they don't. Sometimes they can perform vital functions for women's bodies. It just depends. And as Sina was saying, the popular characterization of corsets is, what's the quote? Reports of its murderousness have been greatly exaggerated. That's how I'll adapt the quote. But yeah, they can be good. And Beth Ann saying they remind her how lucky she is that her lazy butt was born in modern times. Yeah, that too.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fabrics. And they're all sewn and finished. I've tried to, I don't know, try to eliminate some of my ignorance on sewing projects, and it's just so hopeless. I still have a bag of sewing over there that's been there for 8 months. Things to do, projects to do. So, yeah. Have either of you guys heard of Jay Foreman? Who's the third one I recommended?
No. So I do have to have a look at his face again because I am notoriously bad at names. I think you'll notice that when I go into editing with my videos, I sometimes misspeak people's channels. So I'm being super careful on that. So yeah, celebrities' names, not
Yeah.
great with them.
Yeah. I've had a few very embarrassing instances lately where there are people that I know and have known for a long time, and I forget them in the past year, and I don't know what it is. It could be pandemic life. It could be something else. I don't know, but it happens, and I'm just like, and trying to pretend that that didn't just sailing on. Like, oh my God. I don't know.
I'm good with faces. I'm really good, like it's good there's social distancing, but I'm one of those people who recognizes people in the street and I go, hi, can't remember their name, but I put them on the spot because they don't remember me. It's like I remember people from, and I know where I know them from, so I start, going,
Oh, that's good.
oh,
That's
how are things with the swimming and stuff like that. But yeah.
That's good, because if you're that person, I'm the other person in this conversation, you're giving me a hint by saying where you knew me, and then that will probably jog my memory. That's good. That's good.
So quick question for context around the corsets. Are you discussing the corsets later today?
No.
Or are you not
related.
discussing corsets? Because I've got a question. When can corsets be good for you?
So Bernadette has the experience of actually growing up with scoliosis, I think. And so she had a corrective brace. And I think she was sort of changing the conversation to, it wasn't always trying to squeeze a wasp waist out of a person who that's not good for or healthy for. It was a woman's choice to try to go for a trendy silhouette, and that can be different types and do different things depending on the decade. And so sometimes it actually provides back support. And I'm trying to remember some of the other things that she pointed out. It's been a while. Sina, do you remember any of the things she pointed out?
I think she pointed out that in most films it's portrayed wrongly, and obviously the whole thing, like Kate Winslet in Titanic, and what's her name, Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although that
all that
isn't
necessarily representative of, it's not representative of how corsets were actually worn by most women. And then she talks about, I don't know if she went to school for specifically like dress history but science anyway. And she does a lot of research into that. And she talks then about, how there's so many people who also did sports in corsets and all that. And, people who, working women were wearing them because they were basically underwear. They were there to hold in your boobs and all that sort of thing, before there were bras. And so there's tons of videos about it. And basically, it's talking about how it was not necessarily this sort of torture instrument of the patriarchy.
Yet. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So no corsets tonight. What we're going to be talking about tonight is, let's see, March of the Booktubers is what Joe has called it, and it's he's got drink specials lined up. So he's gotten clever titles of drink, like cocktails, and basically it's just to prompt questions about the booktube experience and stuff, which is fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you guys will probably be asleep, although I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's Friday, and I don't have anywhere to go, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock Eastern, which means
what time will it be?
5:13. 1. It's either midnight or 1 a.m. for you guys. I can't.
I might be asleep.
Yeah.
Wait.
I was up till 11 last night, and that was late for me, guys.
God, no, so I'm 8 hours behind you, but I don't know what time yours is.
It's 7 for me, so 7 plus 8 is 15 to be 3 a.m. for you, which I've seen you up at 3 a.m. before.
Yes. That sometimes happens. It's like, because after the surgery, my whole sleep pattern got all messed up anyway. And I don't know.
Yeah. Sleep is hard. Sleep is hard during the pandemic. Yes. And Joe's saying it'll be available to watch after as well, as these ladies know because they're pros. Yes. Yeah, the live chat. Now that we've discovered the live chat on the premiere videos, it will be a lot of fun. Katja, have you started? Oh no, you're not doing Enchanted April. You're the High Wages. So we're reading a book and we're gonna chat about it on Sunday, morning for me and evening for her. And I just finished it yesterday and it was delightful. These books are also cozy. They're like, I mean, important themes, but like not rip you apart at the seams kind of thing.
Oh, Margaret, be careful. Don't encourage me to start talking about high wages because I have a lot to say about that book. So I'm really tempted. I'm like,
okay. All right, we'll stay.
But yeah, it is my first Dorothy Whipple too, so I can say that much.
That's good. And now I kind of see what they meant by the way it ended. I kind of see what they meant with the portrayal of Dorothy Whipple on Persephone's site. So, but yeah, the play that I read with Lana that I did the live on Wednesday for St. Patrick's Day for, which is why we still have these green hills behind us.
Is it the last Playboy?
The Playboy of the Western World.
Ah.
And so I had portrays a Celtic culture character favorably. And I thought, well, that might, no, it's by an Irish playwright, but no, like satire about the Irish peasants is interesting. So, yeah. Well, what else are you guys reading that you're excited about or hating?
Still this. Oh, God.
Moya Marsh?
Daylight?
Oh, okay.
Yes. I've already talked about it in the last video, and I think you comment it's a poetry collection, but I'm taking it slow. So I read the first, I don't know, 10 or whatever in like really short succession because I couldn't stop myself. And then I was like, this is not how to read a poetry collection. You shouldn't just gulp it down.
Yeah.
And so I'm reading it slowly now. And for some reason, I'm still on this because I read this before the surgery and during the hospital stay, and then I had headaches and blah, blah, blah. So I put it down, and then somehow I haven't picked it up since I got home.
Which one is that? I didn't see it.
Is it We Need New Names?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I think it really suffered from when I was reading it.
Yeah, that's one that I'm going to read soon. That's why I recognize the cover, even though it went by quite quick. Because I was like, that's one of the ones I'm reading very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've just finished.
It's good. I'm not
good.
representative of this, of whether it's good or not. This is really more about the circumstances, not about the book itself.
Okay.
Me not getting finished with it or something.
And I was tempted to go for the audiobook for that one, but the narrator had a very not Zimbabwean accent. So I went with the physical like you, because I do like audiobooks sometimes, because I can multitask. But that one was really one of those where you listen to the sample and you think, that doesn't work.
It's good. Were you listening? What do you use for audiobooks? Is it Audible or Scribd? I keep hearing about Scribd.
Yeah. I haven't gone on to the one that you did a talk recently, didn't you? I've forgotten her name, and she advised us to go with a different audiobook.
Yes, we're both all for Libro. Libro is amazing, and I do think they're international, but I should check.
Yeah. I signed up after I watched you guys, but. Yeah, I've still got loads of credits with the big A.
Yeah.
Big.
Sorry.
Yeah, I use both Audible and Scribd.
Okay, tell us about Scribd.
There we go. Okay. Well, Scribd is that subscription service, so I don't want to say it's Netflix for books because it isn't quite the same, but it's working on the same sort of principle. So they have both ebooks and audiobooks. I don't tend to read the ebooks because you have to use an app. That means you can't use it with a normal e-reader. You have to use it with, you have to use your phone or an iPad, and I don't like reading on those screens.
Yeah.
So I tend to only use it for audiobooks. They do not have the same kind of selection as I think was it Penguin? I think Penguin has recently basically withdrawn all of their audiobooks from any subscription service.
Really?
So, Audible is fine because that's, whilst a subscription, you are basically getting a credit each and you're paying for it with a credit. But the subscription service like Netflix, they've withdrawn it from any subscription services. So therefore, Script does not have anything by that publisher, which is huge, right? And then on top of it, Netflix, it tends to, at some point, if you consume too much, it tends to put certain books on hold that are very popular. So you're not allowed to, for example, in this March, I've been listening to so many audiobooks. I wasn't in the headspace, particularly. And I've listened to like 6 audiobooks or something. And at some point, then it went like loads of my titles that I'd saved were like, they're available in 10 days time or something like that. And then I had to go and like look which ones are available. There are always some others available still, but very often, obviously, the most popular ones aren't, or the newest ones. But at the same time, I was like, well, if I'm going with Audible, where I pay like €10 for 1 credit, and here I pay roughly €9-10 per month, even if it only gives me the choice of, my highest choice of 3 audiobooks, that's still really good, for me as a frugal person who doesn't have endless amounts.
So although I am going to stop using Audible, I did pay for the year subscription, which is like 24 credits, which is why I have so many credits still. And that works out to about £3.67 per book, which is reasonable. But like everyone says, there are other services available.
Yeah. That yearly subscription thing is not an option in Germany on the Audible. You can only do the monthly one, which I also, when I looked into it, I was like, I can't believe they're ripping us off like that. And that immediately made me think, you need to stop this. You need to just end it.
Yeah.
But I haven't done so because I still have the credit. And if you have credits and you want to be able to use up the credits first, otherwise you'll lose them
in a certain time period.
So it's a bit of a annoying thing. Yeah, no, not in a certain time period, but you can pause your subscription and still use your old ones, but you can only pause it for a certain amount of time, and then it automatically renews. And so that's how they get you, right? If you're not quick enough to consume all of the ones, that's how they keep trapping you.
Well, I have all those dates on my calendar every month. I'm like Pandora, Zoom, and Patreon. I have people on those. And so I give the date every month to say, consider whether or not you want to keep supporting them, because the next day it's going to auto renew. And I'm like, I'm keeping my eye on you. Yeah.
What's Pandora?
Pandora is a music streaming service like Spotify, but I never got into Spotify, and so I just use Pandora, but do it without the ads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just type in Libro FM somewhere to find
Libro.fm, yeah. Yeah, I'm having so many lives. Like, it was weird to do this. Marilyn popping in to say hello. I'm channeling your costume spirit.
Hello, Marilyn.
Getting a little jazzy here for the March of the Moderns. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, all the live videos. I almost forgot how to do the editing because I've done so many lives this month. They've just taken the place of all my regular slots. So I was up late last night doing that. So, but we'll get back to the regular stuff in April. Did you guys have any other questions about how this works? The other thing I usually do is put up banners. So we've got this, like this. Get real fancy on you. For the book chats, I've done like spoilers. If we talk about spoilers sometimes, so that people can see that and skip over, like. But sometimes we don't know when we're gonna say something. So I don't know. Are either of you Anne McCaffrey readers? I don't think she's that international of an audience. Anne McCaffrey.
I might have read her because the name is ringing a bell.
Dragon Singer, sort of like fantasy Manali, and like the dragon.
I have not read her, but she's been recommended to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, more young adult, but then she also has sci-fi fantasy. And in the video that premiered, I referenced that, and I made it like different because I kind of spoiled it, but not really, because it's a bigger universe question. It's not like anything that'll spoil the plot. But anyway, so that's fun. Saying aloha. Is there anything else that I wanted to let you know? You're in, so you have the right browsers. And you got your sound and your video working, so I think we're good for later. I haven't started Enchanted April yet, although Angie has. She's been on Instagram, like, putting up little things, and I looked, and it's only like 300. It's 350, but it's really big print because it's like an old reprint. So I think I'm good. I've got 3 more books to read. And
it's 250 in your book.
350, but it's less because it's big print.
Yeah. Okay. I was just confused because it's like, because mine's like also, I don't even think it's that big.
No.
Though, yeah. Well, actually, no. There's huge space in between the lines, and also there's quite a lot of space on the sides.
Margin.
Different.
Yeah. It's the old-timey way of printing.
I can't remember.
Nice. Yeah. So
I like it.
Yeah, me too. Enchanted April, Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Yeah, I haven't started either yet.
And A Passage to India. So those are the 3 that I have left to read. And then, of course, I haven't started on any of those. I'm reading The Cruise of the Nonna by Hilaire Belloc, and I have never read him before, but it's funny because, you know, the tag about tag starts out with, or no, the Z, Jim's S to Z tag. He starts out with, the Z is a book about nothing. and the dedication here, it says, "My dear Maurice, I have dedicated to you 2 books. One was a book on nothing. This I dedicated to you because being on nothing, it dealt with what is better than the fullness of life." And I was like, okay, this is definitely a modern mindset. What? So I'm reading this, and a sailboat off Wales getting caught in a hurricane already, and I'm like, this is interesting. It's nonfiction. I was trying to find something for the nonfiction to do my cross thing here, but I don't know. It's not that long. I might be able to finish it. I've also got the Penguin Book of Women in Crime. Isn't that a cool cover?
Yeah.
So this is like my nighttime reading.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So
I've got one more book in March of the Moderns, which is with Lana, Death on the Nile. And I think it hits one of those bingo spots. Hot place or something like that. I can't remember.
It's set in a hot place, I'm sure, if it's on the Nile. And woman author. And I don't know, is Agatha Christie known for passing the Bechdel test? I don't know. Oh, but it's fun though. It's fun.
I did have a question about the setup.
Yes.
And I think I've actually I might have answered it, because you've got on the right, you've got private chat, and then you've got comments. And I was thinking, gosh, it would be nice to see the comments of people. And then I realized I just need to click comments. I can see them without you displaying them. But so private chat is if I want to respond to any comments that I see there. So I'd have to flip between the 2. No.
Private. So private chat is between us only, and people in the audience can't see it. So that's like your hair's falling down, or your cat's about to kill something, or, you know.
Excellent. Okay, yep, that makes sense then.
Okay.
And so that's why I was saying.
I have one question though.
Yeah.
Sorry, because you said sound and all that works. So I was wondering, is everything okay? Is there any echo or something like that? Because I'm using my computer, but it has really terrible, terrible speakers. So I've got this thing next to it. And I was wondering whether it'd be better to use headphones. I just don't like using them if I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't detect any echo. Sometimes it'll start and it'll go for like 5 seconds and then stop, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's the ghost in the machine. There's nothing we can do about it, because if it goes away, you can't address it. But yeah. Ooh, Marilyn's saying she read Passage to India and saw the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. Loved Enchanted April on screen. Haven't read the book. Haven't seen the movie yet. It's beautiful visually. Yeah. I have a lot of good movies that will be like open to me. I don't like. What's that?
Sorry. Said I'm going in completely blind. This was recommended to me, like maybe not to me specifically, in a video last year. And so I bought it because I saw an Oxfam. I don't actually know anything about it.
Yeah. I don't either. It's women fed up with the UK go off to be in a villa in Italy and hijinks ensue, but also growth. And that's all I know. So I'm like, yes.
Sounds good. I'd like to go to Italy now. I'm fed up with Germany.
Right? I know. So, and I don't know what this is referring to. It could be the sound in the video, or it could be the book, The Enchanted April. But either way, we'll take it. The only other thing is to see like whether you like different setup. This always looks a little bit weird and like too close up to me. Like we're squished in a box. So that's why I usually do like the stepped back. And then there's also this.
Oh.
Which solo? Nope, that's solo. Oh, God. I don't know. See, this is the part where I don't know exactly. Sound. Oh, okay. Back to that. Yeah, I don't know how to make one person the featured person. It always does the host, as far as I can tell. So it's one of those things that I've never took the time to figure out, even though I'm an expert on StreamYard. Yay.
I just wanted to say I definitely agree with Passage to India. The movie was really good. I haven't read the book, but the film is fantastic.
Excellent. It was actually really good timing because Katie at Books and Things just put up E.M. Forster Week. I don't know if you guys saw that, but she had like a little resume and what she loved about each of the books, and so it sounded really good. I was like, a little extra oomph of anticipation was good.
I'm still an E.M. Forster virgin.
I've never heard of that one. That wasn't part of her week. Is it a short story?
What? No, I'm an E.M. Forster virgin.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Sorry.
Oh. No, that makes sense, because I was like, oh, I haven't heard of that one. And then you said, no, I am. I was like, oh, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Fun to do. Well, anything else happening with you guys today or for the weekend, or?
Oh, I've had such a long week. It feels like it's the same amount of days, but I'm looking forward to having a long weekend. I've got the day off on Monday. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to chilling now. Gonna have some K-dramas on tomorrow. Catch up on my K-dramas, but otherwise I don't have any news.
Nice. K-dramas. That's good. Therapy.
I've been feeling really tempted to try out drama because Mel at Mel's Booklet Adventures is always on about them, and I thought I really need to try, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
I feel like you should, message me, Sina. Please message me, because there's some really miss ones. It's hit and miss. There's a lot of hits, loads of really good ones, but I've watched some questionable ones. so
okay.
Yeah. There's some
Yeah,
really good
so
ones.
she at one point she highlighted one specific one, and then I went and looked for that, and then realized on Netflix that I had already watched the first 2 or 3 episodes and completely forgotten about it, and then stopped. But I don't think I stopped for any specific reason apart from sometimes it just happens to me. I go phases where I watch a lot of stuff and then just leave it. And clearly, yeah, that was one of them. And so I was like, maybe I should try it again. But maybe there was a reason why I stopped.
You got to make notes to yourself. That's what it is. I mean, if I don't write notes to myself, I'm just lost. And Marilyn's saying she was reading Quicksand, which is good because that's good. Quicksand by Nella Larson for March of the Moderns. Yay! Because she read Passing already. So did I. It was so good. I felt like it was so vivid in its details that it really made you feel like in living color. Like you almost had a cinematic view of it, and it was so short, so it was just a snapshot, but it was so vivid. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I have terrible visual imagination, so whenever a book can do that for me, I'm like really impressed.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Have you read what's it called? Have you read The Vanishing Half?
No, I haven't read the modern version, people are calling it.
Okay. Because I haven't either. It's just because everybody always talks about how it's obviously inspired by Passing. So I was interested how it actually sort of compares, but I haven't read it either, so I wouldn't know anything about it.
I can't think of a video that compares them. I can only Sandy Golston just read Vanishing Half, and I think he had a review on that. But I can't think of it right now, of course. I bet you could search and maybe come up with something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
How are you doing, Margaret? Because I feel like, with this March of the Moderns and everything and all your reading, how are you keeping up with everything?
Well, like I said, the lives are mostly taking place of the regular videos I do, so it's not in addition. But, I had a lot of reading going on in January and February, and it feels like it's just going so slowly for March. I think I had 20 in January and like 11 in February, and I'm at like 6 this month. And I'm like, why? I'm reading all these books, but I don't know. It just seems to be going much slower. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming to do all the administrative stuff because I'm trying to prepare for each one on social media and then like put them out after each one for social media like I do with normal videos. And so it feels like a lot more people to wrangle and thumbnails to do and like all those things.
Yeah, I was really impressed seeing that thumbnail go up for our chat because it's like, that's like magic. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. Like maybe I should run a little Canva side business out of the trunk of my car and be like, hey. So yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about tonight, actually, because I visited a couple of the other authors. So I only know JD. You guys know JD Estrada?
Yeah. From the live chats that you do.
Yeah. So he's going to be on tonight. And then the 2 others I didn't know, but I looked up their channels and they do almost nothing but live shows, and it's all the same thumbnail. And I'm like, is that working for you? Like that lives don't seem to be helping my channel. I've gone down in subscribers this month. So I'm like, what the heck? So I don't know. I don't know what it is. All this like meta booktube discussion. People are getting very comfortable about talking about their goals and like the reason they're on booktube, but also like what their fears and anxieties are. So it's interesting being like, yeah, that's happening this month. I'm doing all this extra work and the count's going down. Like,
oh, that really sucks. That's just like, yeah. But it does feel that way sometimes. I don't know. I haven't done that many videos, so I'm up for a year being on booktube, but I haven't actually done a lot of videos because when I started, they were sort of a month apart. But But I have found sometimes, not always, but sometimes the more effort you put into a video, the less sort of like commentary or engagement you get, and you think, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I really loved that one.
Yeah. There's
I have barely any experience to speak of, so
Well,
I just know I
you're
lost
still doing
subscribers
great.
on the video. It was like a video about that 25 book challenge video, which I thought was kind of fun, you know, as opposed to the other ones where I ramble on for ages. I mean, this one also I rambled on, but it was like, I thought it was fun. And then I was like, you lost 2 subscribers. And I was like, oh, okay. And before that, when I was in hospital, I also lost some and I hadn't been posting. And it was like, I've not been posting for a week. What is going on, guys?
like a
So,
treadmill.
whatever.
Yeah, that is weird. Having said that, to make you both feel better about losing 1 or 2 in the last couple of weeks, in November, I went down by 21 between November and December. It was a case of like 5 and then 2 and whatever. And I counted it up and I was like, what did I say? I was like, I can't remember saying anything. And so maybe people are spring cleaning or YouTube is spring cleaning and I'll just have to not think about it. But if I lose 1 or 2, I always think back to that time and I go, it'd be worse, you know?
Yeah. It's like you get close to the milestones.
Well, I didn't take it too personally, but it was just weird around that time because I was like, it's not even been a week. What's going on? And, you know, but then I thought also, I mean, in fairness, the people subscribe quickly because they're trying to be nice, you know, if you're like new or whatever. And then they might find out, no, it's actually not for me. They might think to their, and no, she's talking too much, you know, or whatever. Who cares, you know?
Question. Like, what's your threshold or your criterion or multiple criteria for subscribing? Because normally when someone makes a recommendation, I usually like click on the link and open a new tab, and when that video is finished, I'll go and I'll look at their page. And first of all, if they don't have anything on their about page, I am very resistant because I'm like the minimum, like about.
I don't have anything on there. I don't have anything on there.
And she's here. Yay! She does a lot of excellent lives herself. So excellent. Thanks for stopping by. We're talking about subscribing barriers, or like not barriers, like what do you do yourself to subscribe? And so about page is one, and then I'll usually listen to a video or 2 that like looks the most interesting, and then I'll subscribe. And if I like the video or the next one, but then sometimes I don't see anything from them for a month or 2, and then I'm like, who is this? Why are they in my feed?
that would have been me at the start because I pretty much did that. I didn't post for a month. You know, they were like a month apart as I was finding my feet, but that would have been me. You know, like people would be going, "What? Who's this?"
What about you guys? How do you decide to subscribe to people? What's the process or the minimum or the things that you look for?
Well, so for me, it's a case of I watch a couple of the videos. I don't, sometimes I go into the about bit if they don't do an intro about, you know, like some people don't do intros saying their names, and I was really bad at that, which is why I've just recorded my name into the little intro.
Right.
And so usually I'll go to the about to figure out what, you know, who is this? And if that isn't there, I do watch a couple of the videos just to get an idea of what this person is like, you know. And sometimes I'll subscribe on a whim, but then I do have to, you know, kind of make a decision, because it's like it's difficult when you've got a lot of subscriptions to actually keep up with them. So I don't unsubscribe because I feel bad, but what I do is perhaps not engage as much afterwards. I have a sort of like top few that I tend to engage with, and then I feel bad, and then I try and remember, look through, and then I see that there's loads of content that I've been missing because I've just stuck to my favorites.
Right. So Shay has a good point here. She goes to the about section super fast. She also looks at the range of their content when going to the videos, which is a good idea too. Yeah. Huh. Sina, what about you?
So reading the comment. So I'm one of those people. I don't have anything in my about section because I also am terrible at doing that Instagram thing, bio thing. I feel really awkward trying to sort of describe myself in this very short space. And I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just some regular person who reads books. I should put that in there, you know, instead of just leaving it blank. So I do go into the about section, but I don't mind if there's nothing in there because I'm guilty of that myself. I tend to watch more than one video. Like I tend to watch more than one, unless, you know, the one that I'm watching has just immediately like won me over. And then I sometimes do the subscription on a whim thing, but normally just, one or two at least. But I feel like also generally when there's smaller channels, you know, like myself, I tend to be more generous and just subscribe and then see what happens. Whereas when they're bigger, I feel like, well, they don't need my subscription. I can be a bit more, you know, discerning before I make the decision.
Well, the other thing that Marilyn brought up is that, like, you can have the subscribers, but then not the views. So if you're doing like Katja does and you're subscribing, but then you're like, oh, but I only have this much time, I'm only going to watch these like close circle kind of videos, then it's kind of like, which is worse, not having the 1,000 subscribers because you're like going for monetization, or not having the views or engagement because that also affects your algorithm performance or whatever. So I don't know. I think it depends. If it's a smaller booktuber, I think the subscription makes us feel better. But for the bigger booktubers, like the engagement is what harms their ad revenue algorithm. So maybe there's just a double standard. And then Shay is saying, try to do better about watching videos for that reason. I don't want to just be subscribed, but I do feel overwhelmed when they upload a lot because I will fall behind. Yeah. So
that too.
Totally. In the video that I just premiered, I said that I have a system where I update how often I comment on people's. And some people, I go back and like, it's every 2 days they have a video. And so at a certain time when I start seeing that I'm commenting on their stuff so often, I go, they need to take a break. Like, I can't keep up. Or I need to, obviously.
Yeah, I feel that way in terms of I need to take a break. And that's actually quite useful sometimes. If it's like people that I've been writing, you know, like engaging with really regularly, that gives me sort of like a bit of relief to go, I can miss their next video and I can go check out someone who I haven't, you know, a channel that I've neglected, and engage there. And
Beth Ann, okay, she's saying, how often do you comment on videos? Okay, so how often, like time-wise, or how often out of the ratio of what you view? So Katja mentioned engaging mostly with a small circle early on. Beth Ann tried to comment on every video I watched, but that got insane.
I tried that too.
I
tried that too. And I did it on Saturday as well because I realized that I hadn't been saying welcome to newbies, and I spent, and I'm not kidding, it was about 6 hours watching newbie videos and commenting, because I had to watch them in order to make a relevant comment and to understand what they're saying, that, you know, they're all about and everything. And the newbie one I was really nervous doing the newbie one, and it was really about, this is who I am, and so I feel that. So I had to watch it, and it's insane. You can't do that all of the time.
Right.
Oh goodness, that sounds like way too much work. I can't do that. I think I tend to comment on, obviously the circle of people that I generally like, that I time even before I channel. But then I feel like, now that I have my own channel, I'm more aware to try and like leave a comment, especially at the small channels, because they already, they only get 50 views if they're lucky, and then maybe 10 comments. So I kind of feel like, no, you should really definitely comment on this one specifically. And if a larger one, I miss it out, who cares? They've already got 20, 30 people talking anyway on there.
Right.
So, yeah.
I like this. I like how we're like sailing in to save the day because we want to like target the small booktubers who don't get the views, who don't get the subscribers, and like boost their numbers because we're all like bleeding hearts. Yeah, the hat fits, right?
Knitting books, etc.
I comment as I
Is
watch.
doing what you do, Margaret.
Except she like makes it organized. So I like comment, send it off, comment, send it off. Like, I don't know, throwing stones at a window. I didn't know that was unusual until people started going, I like your style. And I was like, what are other people doing? Yeah, so knitting.
See, I'm the continual editor.
I do that
I
sometimes.
start a comment and then I go, oh, I need to edit this now. Now there's more stuff coming and no more stuff. So I just write,
Right.
I end up with this text wall.
Right. Well, that's running commentary that's all in one comment. And part of it was, I guess if we knew which one boosted it better, we'd do the one or the other. But since we don't, we're just like, whatever, it's our style of commenting and people will, you know, like or not. But yeah. That's dancing, yes. Relax and listen. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch when I have my hands aren't free, so I can't comment. And then I really need to make an active sort of a note in my head. You have to go back and comment on this specific one because it was such a good video or something. And of course, half the time I forget.
Let go, it's in the past. Like, if I tried to make those notes to myself, I go crazy. That would be the insane part for me. I have to do it in the moment. It's like, is it Marie Kondo or is it someone else who says like, deal with your mail when you get it? Like a one-touch system, like decide so you don't have to decide again because that's just working your brain needlessly. My 2 cents.
Speaking of notes, I've watched you when you sent your video about what notes you make about tagging. I was impressed, to say the least.
Oh, really?
I thought I really need to start a system because I don't even take notes.
Well, the system that I talked about was the one for doing tags, and that's just like a 2-page spread where I'm like tracking who I've done and what I'm going to do and when. Excuse me. But but
then also
tags,
who you've tagged and the empty play button.
That I felt was probably a little creepy for people. But I mean, hey,
No,
I'm
I think it's brilliant
here, right? It's the time. It's the time to be honest. Yeah, it's like social capital. Are you guys familiar with the I'm sure Katja is. Like I studied this in grad school about different social norms of social capital, which is like you build it up just like money, but it's goodwill in your fellow man kind of thing. And so that's different societies treat that differently. And so I feel like by doing someone's tag and passing it on, it's like it's passing out of capital in some way because you're giving inclusion, you're giving enthusiasm. And so I don't want to like spend my seed on rocky ground, really. But also understand that life gets busy. Not a big deal. What's that?
No, I completely get that. I think I don't academic understanding of it, but when you said it, I thought, yeah, I intuitively understand what you're talking about. And I also, I wouldn't want to tag anybody knowingly who doesn't like them. So if I learn later on that they don't like doing them, then I'll be like, okay, I'll make a mental note of that and I shall not be doing that again, right? Like, what's the point? You want to, and it's not about necessarily just, you know, them carrying my name forward. It's more about also like, well, I also don't want to annoy those people, you know?
Right. Yeah. Thinking about who would like to do it. Like the one for today, the S to Z, Jim's questions were kind of like, there were a few sci-fi ones. And I was like, I don't follow a lot of people who know a lot of sci-fi books or do that. So I was trying to think, okay, well, these are the 2 I know. So hopefully they'll have good answers. And sometimes I can think to that level. And sometimes my brain is just like, I don't know who's next. So, yeah.
I had that with the last tag I did, and I had several people in my mind, including you, and also pay at attention. And then I was like, as I was preparing to do the tag, I kept seeing new videos. I was like, oh no, they've been tagged now. Oh no, they've been tagged now. And then at some point I was just like, okay, I'm going to tag people who have way even smaller channels than mine, just as a way of encouraging them, because clearly all the people that I had in mind who I think would probably love this have already been tagged. There's no point in doing it twice. I mean, the only point is to like say, hey, I'm thinking of you. But I was like, yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's just do it somebody else.
At some point, it gets to look like I Love Lucy with the chocolate factory. Have you guys seen that clip? It's iconic.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have actually, which is really surprising for me. I have seen that. Yeah, it's really good. Where she ends up eating them.
She gets a job at a chocolate factory, and like the chocolates are coming on a conveyor belt, and she's supposed to put them in, but she can't do it fast enough, so she starts like stuffing herself and like stuffing all her. So yeah, tags can feel like that. And yeah, you don't want chocolate melting against your skin. It might sound sexy, but it's not.
And it was interesting to think how I mean, tags can be so much fun, but that tag about tags that Roz did, the questions, when people put comments on when people, you know, said how they felt about doing their tags, it was interesting to see the same sort of like anxieties sometimes. And I had said in my video, I don't get anxious doing them because it's fun and creative, but it's the after bit that's anxious for me, because you know, like it's that whole thing of, oh, so I've tagged someone. Do they now feel under pressure to you know, do this, or do they not like doing them? And am I being presumptuous that they've actually watched my video and they know that I've tagged them? Should I let them know that I've tagged them so they can do it if they want to do it? Or is it really rude to say, "Oi, you haven't watched my video, so you don't know I tagged you"? Because I'm not trying to be rude. So it's hilarious because I was reading people say that, and I thought, yes, that's true. I feel stressed afterwards because of all that nonsense.
That's funny. It's definitely.
It's like tag anxiety inception.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. So Jim does go, at least for me.
So
I
asked
come on my channel and say when like he's tagged me in something, which is super nice. I don't do that to people because I think I learned by example that you have to search your name every so often and make sure that if someone's tagging you and you didn't see their video, like you get to know about it. But yeah, it's super nice to do that.
I love Jim's way of telling you though, because he did it for me as well, because I hadn't seen his video yet. I mean, sometimes I see a video coming up and I'm like, oh, cool, I need to watch it for the next 3 days. I sometimes go back and watch it, but not in the moment. I don't have, you know, endless amount of time. And he messaged me as well, like commented saying, hey, blah, 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 you know, like basically a comment about the video he was commenting on, and then saying, oh, by the way, I tagged you, but also no pressure at all if you don't want to do it and all that. And I thought it was very lovely. And I remember asking the first time I was tagged, so I obviously went, I want to tag people. And then I was like, I have a very, very small channel. How do I do this? What's the etiquette? Do I tell people? Because I'm assuming most people won't watch them because I have very few subscribers. And so I asked somebody who had a larger channel, who was also very encouraging for me to actually publish my first video. And he said, yeah, I think it's normal, or it's okay if you're like a small, you know, if the most recent video. But obviously, you know, try and say something about their video first and don't just go, hey, I tagged you. You know, just, and maybe you can even tell them, yeah, because my channel is so small, I'm doing it. And that's totally fine. So that's what I have started doing. But I feel like I may not have done it with every single person because I'm also ridiculously disorganized. So.
What were you pointing at the chocolate before? You were holding it up, but it was like the lag coming through.
Oh, because you were saying you don't like chocolate melting against your skin. Then I was like, oh, speaking of chocolate, I have some.
Okay. Excellent. I've got my cup of tea, so that's what I got for the afternoon.
I've got chocolate and wine.
I haven't got anything because I had to rush to get this laptop so that I don't use the wrong camera facing thing. This is my old laptop, and I wanted you to see me properly because the gaming one is pretty much you'd be looking at my chest, you know, like that's the level it goes at, and you can see some of my keyboard.
Gaming.
It's a gaming laptop, but I haven't gamed in ages. I mean, the last time I gamed, I had a PS2, so that's a long time ago.
Wow.
But I got it because it's a cheap version of getting a really heavy duty processing computer that can
Okay.
handle a lot of video editing. And I was quite keen to learn how to do video editing. I'm one of those, unpopular opinion. I actually like editing video. I know that's like the bane of people's lives. They go, oh, I don't like editing. I actually like doing it.
Yeah. I will say video editing is easier than writing editing.
Yeah.
Bane. That's the bane of my existence.
I think I would like it if I had the equipment for it, and I don't have the money to really do anything about equipment at the moment. That's why I don't like it very much, because I actually do it on my phone.
Yeah.
This is my camera, and this is where I edit, and then I upload it directly. And that I do not enjoy, because it's like, oh no, not fun.
Kim at Middle of the Book March and I had a little back and forth in her comments about she did a video recently for newbie to newbie booktube tips, and she had these things about how she recorded and how she had memory and what she used, and I was like, but what about this? But what about this? Because I was like, I've tried that. It didn't work. And she was super nice. She's like, well, what about this? And yeah. So
Amrita said she does her editing on her phone as well. And I have to admit that I do a lot on my phone. I'm always like, that. And in fact, I watch a lot of YouTube on my phone, even though I've got a laptop screen.
Same.
I think I said this to you, Margaret, and you're like, your poor eyes. And I was thinking, yeah, that's true, but I think it's just habit. I don't know why. I've got my phone with me all the time, so it's handy to watch that.
yeah.
And then quite recently, I realized I could cast from my phone onto my TV. So you can cast with a Chromecast. And that is not a great idea, because I couldn't figure out how to properly watch the thing and comment on people's videos at the same time. So.
Yeah, that could get dicey about like
iPad. Yeah, I used to use mine, but mine's super old.
About commenting. So here's the thing where
Sorry.
it's like, am I gonna
Sorry,
be
I was
too
commenting on a comment.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the iPad.
Yeah. A little lag. Yes. And forgive me, knitting books, etc. I don't know your name, so if you want to type that in, or otherwise I'll just call you knitting books, etc. I use iMovie too. I use my laptop camera. I use my laptop camera, and that's part of why.
See, everybody's always recommending iMovie, but I don't have a Mac. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have a Mac. So I'm always like, can somebody please give me an Android recommendation? So if anybody's looking for one to use on their phone, there's one that's called VN Editor, and it's free. And there's only like one tiny little advert when you open it, and it's silent, and it's only 5 seconds long. So if you're looking for one, I'm gonna say,
Did you say VN Editor?
VN. I don't know. I can't comment, can I?
No, I just put it in. Tell me if that's right.
There we go. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Excellent.
So if you look for VN Editor on the, Play Store, I've tried a different one, which was absolutely terrible. And then I basically read several review sites where they give you like 10 different ones, and which ones are free, or what type of stuff is free on them and what isn't, and blah, blah, blah. And I was the kind of person like, I want to do this for free at the moment. I do not want to spend any money, because I don't know if this will be something that I will do for the long term or not. I don't have any money. I need to use what I have. So I just read all these, and then I decided VN Editor. Like, seems to be, it happened before. It isn't crazy over the top if you don't know what you're doing. It doesn't completely flash you. And I think it does all the sort of the major bits you need. And I'm sure there's flashier ones or whatever, but
I've just started having envy of people's intros. They're like animated with text, and they have images on the screen that are animated. And so iMovie has automatic ones, but there's like 5. And so when people do things like that. I'm like, how are they doing that? I'm like, that looks so good.
You can use Canva. You can use Canva to make things move. So that's for an intro.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe okay, well, I'll need to go on Canva and figure some of that out. Is it just needs to be
Maybe
on
I should try
transparent
that.
background? It's the transparent background that I think you need to have the paid Canva for. So I will look into that though.
So
Yeah.
I've not paid for Canva, but I did mine using Canva, and all I've done is tried to make the writing look as though it's moving. So I've used the animation button, but
Okay.
it's on the free version because I've not paid for it.
Okay. A new thing to try. Very fun. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the commenting on videos as well. My routine in the morning is to spend like 2 to 3 hours each day watching the videos in my feed and commenting on them, and then following up comments in the notifications. And this is because I'm unemployed. So like there's time to do that. But yeah. Like you said, not spending money, everything is free. It's all my time that goes into this and like cultivating community and whatnot. So yeah.
I sort of like spam people with my YouTube love on the weekends, especially, and some evenings. It's like I kind of feel like sometimes, on a particular day they might be also looking at different channels and they'd be like, wow, Katja's on a lot of channels today. And that's me kind of like going for it.
Oh, I'm terrible. I'm semi-unemployed. As in, and due to COVID, I have way less work than I used to before. And so I have a lot of time on my hands and I'm basically glued to my phone.
Yeah. One of the things I'm trying to sort out is my internet connection. So, anyway, it's hard. It's like budgeting time for videos and then like being off the phone the rest of the day and like actually turning off the phone like it's on airplane mode for several hours of the day because I'm trying not to use the data. And it's just like, it's a hard business to try to be like aiming at working in and then like not having the budget for it when the budget is data. So yeah. Spreading the love. Yay, booktube love. And have you seen that Amrita? She posts these stories of when people spam like her on Instagram because they're like, this person like this and this and this and this and this and this. And she's like, thanks, I think. Like, it comes out funny on Instagram. It doesn't do that on YouTube, I don't think. So. It's funny.
Oh no, but I feel like that sometimes if I go on Instagram and I'm like looking at a new account and I'm like looking through their pictures, see if it's a bookstagrammer, I want to see kind of what are they reading, how do they do this, blah blah blah. Or some of them that just show amazing pictures of their cat, and then I'm like liking, and then I'm like, oh god, stalkery. Let's follow and go away.
Yeah. It's hard. What was I just watching?
It's the same with these reaction to stories.
Yeah. I was just watching, I'm trying to remember who it was, if it was Onyx Pages or someone else. Oh, maybe it was Chronicles of Noria. Black booktuber within the last 24 hours. So they're, anyway. So they were talking about books for it was Brian. Okay. So his was before them. He was talking about the white gaze and whether you read books or people write books to be for a certain audience. Wait, no, my brain's run away with me. Why was I just going to talk about this? What were you guys just saying about
liking?
Being worried about how other people perceive what you're doing. So there's a whole like, here's me, here's my work, here's what I care about, here's what I'm going to put out to the world. Yay, here's me. And then there's like, when you publish that or when you make that public, do you worry about how other people see it? Well, yeah, I mean, when you're a writer and you're publishing a book, yeah, because then it sells or it doesn't. But at some point and in some circumstances, that person, the artist, has to say, no, I don't care about what people say about it, because if I did, that would stop me from doing it, and that would inhibit my character and my life, right? And so, yeah, that's what it was. Sorry, you're seeing the whole cycle here. Yeah.
Total sense.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I. It's kind of reminding me, but only like part of what you said is reminding me of a video that I saw from Luke Edwards as well, and he did From Within the Frame, and it's a 4-minute little video that he did, sort of like showing his behind the scenes, like his camera's all set up, because he does use a lot of props and stuff, and the idea of you're getting to see him just in this box, in this frame, and what he presents to you or to us, whereas there's so much more going on, and that care of having to put the correct presentation sometimes. Yeah, From Within. Yeah, it's about 4 minutes. Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, I love Onyx pages. That's yeah. Yeah.
Do you
Which
say
one
Onyx?
is that? Wait.
I don't think I know the other channel that you mentioned.
Jerry's is. Do you
What's
say
the other
Onyx?
channel that you
I say
said?
Onyx.
I say Onyx, but
Okay.
Onyx is good with
Onyx.
me as well.
We'll have to ask him, Jerry. I can't remember hearing her say it on the intro. That's funny. And then Noria is Chronicles of Noria. Yeah.
Oh, but it's a stone.
'cause that one
so it's a stone, isn't it? So my pronunciation of the stone is different as well.
Well, I'm gonna leave it with. She'll have to tell us. We'll have to go back on her channel and just like see what she says. She's saying, I feel like a Loki Creeper when I do it, but hey, I like the content. What? Okay, this was like a few minutes ago because I wasn't paying attention.
I think that was referring to doing all of the
spam liking.
Yeah, and yeah.
What are you gonna do? It's love in any form.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And they're listening, doing a tag. You can be unruly, right? That's what we're here for. Be who you are. Yeah, I try to get something that trips off the tongue, but today was double tag Friday. Like, whatever.
And you've just reminded me, but you know, like with us having different pronunciation for Onyx and Onyx, and that's another thing that comes back to tags, because we're coming up April, but I've had 3 sort of like little messages to me saying, hi Katja, I was going to tag you in something, but then I messed up your name, so I haven't tagged you. And I thought it was really sweet, but I think it's my surname trips up people. So I go with the Anglo, you know, sort of like pronunciation and go Weinert, but actually the W is a V, and so I think that trips people up because they're wondering which one to say.
Oh,
and it could even be my first name. But it was interesting because way back there was I'm going to try and remember her channel name. I've got it on my subscriptions, but there's a YouTuber in South Africa who's Kosa, and they do the clicks, and her name, her first name and her second name, her surname have got clicks.
Oh,
and I couldn't pronounce it. And I was like, damn it, I really wanted to tag her in something. And this is like going back to October. So when that happened to me, I was like, oh, I wonder how many people that happens to, you know.
I never considered that as a barrier to
Well, I tagged you and then I just said your name completely German.
Which is great. Yep, that's the way my dad would say it. But I obviously grew up with the British side of the family. So yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because I wasn't sure. And then I remember as I was saying it in the video, I was like, hang on, doesn't she say her name in her intro, you idiot? Why didn't you check? But that was close enough.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. And yeah, I'm fine with the surname.
Yeah. I think I'm sure we all get different pronunciations of our names, and I'm sure we're all pretty fine with it. Like everyone's trying and everyone's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And you're like, it's fine. Here it is. And, you know, just try to remember next time because, you know, you don't want to make the same mistake. But yeah. Yeah.
I think I say your last name wrong all the time. I think I always say Margaret Pinar, and somewhere I think you commented that you don't like that and you want the D. pronounced or something like that. No,
that's pretty close. It's like when it becomes close to like the nicknames I got teased with in school, that's when I don't like it. But you know,
Ooh.
yeah, Canard, whatever's close.
Yeah. I didn't have to worry about that with my surname. They didn't actually use that, and I just had weird nicknames in my family because I was quite quiet and I did a lot of reading. I actually used to get called Mouse, so I was Mouse. I wasn't Katja or anything like that, so I was Mouse.
Yeah.
And I did think about that for my channel name. I was like, oh, maybe I can do something like the Mouse in the library or whatever. And then I was like, no, I'm not quiet anymore.
Yes. Oh, Shay saying it took people forever to get mine right, so I changed the channel name. Oh gosh, what did
Yeah, I can imagine that happening. You might get to a stage where like, I'm just gonna do something everyone's gonna be able to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm almost there.
No.
I'm kidding.
It's got to be hard. There's so many people, I think, on BookTube, or at least have been on BookTube and then abandoned it, so the name is taken. Like, it's got to be hard to find a clever book pun name. I was on my subscription feeds recently, actually, like, culling for a bit, and I noticed that I had insert book pun here, as well as insert literary pun here, and I was like, oh my god. Okay. someone saw that and then just, like, veered left, I guess. That's cute. It's funny though. Cachet Warren. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, people will have different preferences in terms of how flexible they are with people pronouncing their name. Like, I'm happy to have anyone mention me. So, like, I'll say, here's my actual name, Margaret Pinard. And, just to let them know. But I'm happy that they said my name, however it comes out. Because like I said, it's like an inclusion hit, and it's like it's a bit like a rat hitting a pellet. Like, it just feels good, no matter how it comes out. Yeah.
As on a work conference.
I don't have that problem. My name is very easy. Only that everybody always thinks I'm Warrior Princess, and it's like, no, it's not that spelling.
But it is on Twitter.
Actually, here in Germany, where I live, my name is pronounced. No, there it's a different spelling again. That was a stupid joke that happened when I was a teenager, because somebody thought that was my name, and so I just used it. But it's really silly because nobody knows how to pronounce it, so I don't even know why I still use it. But the Warrior Princess thing, that happens literally. Well, with almost every single English native speaker. When I say my name is Sina, they go, "Oh, Warrior Princess."
So did I. I'm sorry.
No, I don't mind. Cute.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
shocked about the first time it happened. I was like 14, and I was like, "That's a very weird image to have of myself." That to come into my mind as a 14-year-old when somebody said, "Oh, Warrior Princess." What?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, Lucy Lawless is an icon. I wouldn't mind that association. Obviously not at 14, but I think now I'd be like, yeah, that's a cool association.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't mind anymore. I just find it funny because it happens all the time. But the weird thing is, here in Germany, where I live, they actually keep mispronouncing my name because the regional dialect basically doesn't know a voiced S, the Z. So what an American or an English speaker would pronounce a Z or a Z, right? And here they always do S. So it's Sina, not. And I find that quite ugly, to be perfectly honest. But you have to get used to it because everybody says it that way.
Those trials.
Yeah, I was on a work conference call this morning, and someone who's new from another organization said, "Oh, welcome, Katja." And I've had that a lot it's interesting. I've had that a lot growing up in Malawi, and also I don't know, because there is a name Katja, and there's also Khadija. So it's interesting, and I didn't mind. I didn't correct them, but a colleague of mine actually corrected them, and I was like, I didn't even feel it was worth doing the correction because we're going to do the intros later on. You know, like the official intros. It's just that we're all 5 minutes early. But yeah, it's interesting how many variations you can get on a name.
Yeah, I never fault people for saying anything wrong because they're trying, right? Yeah. Do you know her as a booktuber? Mobiwe, I think.
No, I don't.
I first saw her because she did a like takedown of Bridgerton video that like caught my eye, and then I was like, yes, we are signing up for this. Let me see if I can find.
I'll have to watch that. But Bridgerton is also a propagator of corsets being a torture instrument, because in that first episode you get the girl fainting because her corset's been tied too tight.
Yeah, it was too easy.
What in that way? Wait, what is that called? That practice? Oh, Bernadette Banner. She said this, right? Tight lacing. And she was like, "That is not what normal people did."
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Names, tags, chocolate. This is a good talk.
Okay, I feel now prepared for Sunday. So thanks for letting me gate crash this. This has been good.
Of course. Yeah. My pleasure. And we got a lot of great people stopping by to say hello. So obviously you've helped. And I hope you have a lovely weekend with K-drama and what Sina's going to do. Rest and relaxation.
Maybe some reading. Maybe I'll finally finish We Need New Names, because it's a bit ridiculous. I've had 50 pages left for over a week now. That should be done in an hour.
I've had that for books for years, so don't worry.
I have the same, like, there are a lot of books where I've gotten through 150 pages and then just abandoned for no reason. It's not like a DNF, not an active. It was just like, I just recently pulled one. There's still a book at the halfway mark. What are you doing? What is this?
And then it's gone.
And I think I must have had this in my hand 8 years ago.
You made a note to yourself, and then it flew away. This is what happens to me anyway. Yeah. Good stuff.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna head off. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you, Katja. Thanks for joining in.
Bye-bye.
I think I'm just gonna close and say thanks for everyone for stopping by. This is super fun. Maybe I'll even get up a different decade of the moderns to do for Sunday. We'll see. We'll keep you on your toes. All right. Thanks, Sina, and have a lovely weekend.
Have a lovely day.